welcome to your favorite podcast that you've never heard of yet. This is Late Night All Day with Jamie and AJ. So we got Jamie back this week. So how you doing, Jamie?
I'm getting there. I'm healing, still smiling, but
Do you want
healing
to tell?
over here.
Do you want to tell the people what happened?
So you know, just don't let people hit you in the mouth. That's all I can say.
Well,
Mix of
yes.
soccer and life, and I play soccer. You guys know that. I coach soccer, I play soccer, and I got hit directly in the mouth, and it broke my tooth into my gum, and I had to have oral surgery, and I was looking like Kanye after the car accident. It was all
No.
kinds of crazy stuff. I had like chipmunk cheeks, but I'm back in full effect and trying to be here with y'all and
She's still
present.
kicking.
Still kicking. Couldn't take me out that way. Try again.
So I'm going to go ahead and put this also in the link as well. So before we get to talking what we're going to talk about, what's up, Storm? I
Hi,
want to
Storm.
mention something that's been in the news lately, and it's kind of it hurts a little bit,
Okay.
and that's with Jamie Foxx. You
My
know,
heart.
as a black male celebrity, he was one of the rare cases you never heard anything bad about Jamie Foxx in the
Nope.
news, like ever. And I'm like, damn. And like, it's, on one hand, I understand it's like you don't want your business out there. You have your right to privacy. I get that. But then on the other hand, it's like, well, we have heard that you're, in the hospital and, your fans want to know what's going on and we want to
Mm-hmm.
know if you're okay and all this stuff. And also, I also want to say this also since I'm live and, I got ears. Um, to avoid misinformation about celebrities because people like to kill off celebrities left and right. There's been, oh, this person died, this person died. It's like, what
Mm-hmm.
are you talking about? Unless TMZ says it, don't believe it.
Yep. Didn't happen.
TM,
Didn't see it on TMZ.
TMZ, I'll say TMZ, ABC.
Okay. Yep.
I don't want to say CNN. I don't know if I can say CNN in good faith.
No, because CNN be giving us false advertisement too. So no,
So
no.
yeah, TMZ is the main one, especially when it comes to entertainment news. I think that they're very credible when it comes to that type of stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a couple posts where people talk about rest in peace Jamie Foxx. I'm like, come on, man. Like, I seen that. I went immediately to TMZ. I'm like, TMZ didn't say it.
Don't go taking my Jamie out the game yet.
Like, hey, good. I hope Jamie Foxx pulls through. I hope he, you know, makes a full recovery. What's up, Camille? I didn't see your comment at first. Uh, Also, since we're coming up on it, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day to you, Jamie. All the mothers that
Hey,
are out there.
happy
It's
Mother's Day, Mama.
Thursday. It's Thursday now. We got Mother's Day coming up on Monday, which I was like, oh shit, Mother's Day is coming up. I could have swore we just did this. Why is time moving so quickly?
Don't be trying to not give us our day. And to
Nah,
all the people who aren't sure what your mama want, we don't want to be around kids. I'm just letting y'all know.
I see one of my friends were like, "Fuck them kids. I want to go to the spa." Like,
FDK. I'm gonna go eat by myself, get my nails done. Don't wake me up. Don't ask for nothing. Don't ask me to feed you. You know how to make yourself cereal. Leave me alone. It's my day.
you know how to make yourself cereal. Damn. Cereal will suffice for you for the day.
It's
Get
gonna
out of my
get you
face.
done. Mm-hmm.
So, for this particular episode, I just want to give out a trigger warning because there's going to possibly be some mentions of suicide, also some mentions of murder. So, if that's not something you're in the headspace to hear, feel free, feel free to skip this episode. It's all good. I understand.
Yeah.
So, let's go ahead and talk about one of the most infamous mysteries in history. And I got this idea because I was like, there's all these mysteries in history. What would I pay to know what the hell happened? because there's some out there that's like, what the fuck, right? You get a
Like
big what the fuck
seriously,
about it? Like
serious.
seriously, like this first one that I have ready for us here, Amelia Earhart. This woman just vanished.
She just
You
vanished.
know,
She
you
didn't
know,
die. There was no like burial. Like what happened?
they didn't even find her remains.
Nope.
So, Amelia Earhart, the first woman pilot. She went to try to, I think she was trying to fly around the world
Mm-hmm.
and crashed and vanished. We never heard from her again, never seen her again. They didn't recover any body parts, anything.
Mm-hmm.
So there is some, I don't want to say, there are going to be some mentions of conspiracy theory because it kind of goes hand in hand with with mysteries. So there is a conspiracy with her that she crashed on an island that was inhabited by coconut crabs. And if you've ever seen coconut crabs, they're huge. They're big ass crabs. They're about the size of a. I'm sorry.
I said okay.
Yeah, they're coconut crabs. They're about the size of probably like a medium sized dog. They're really big. They're like legit fucking nightmare fuel.
I'm
They're
googling
terrible.
this right now because I need to see.
They are terrifying looking. So the the they think that she landed on an island inhabited by coconut crabs and died, and the coconut crabs ate her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the coconut crabs, their claw bite force is about it's pretty strong. It's about
I'm looking at them. That's an orangutan.
it's a scary animal. Like if I ever encounter one, I hope I have a shotgun. Like they need to. That is a monster.
That
That is
is
a
yeah. Th-
legit
I would
monster.
not go toe to toe with a coconut crab.
Fuck that. Right. So that's one of the conspiracies. I don't want to say conspiracies. One of the what's the word I'm looking for? Theories on what happened to her.
Hmm.
They're like, which I think is a pretty valid, uh, pretty valid thought. Hey, what's up, Rye? Rye. See, I got it this time. Rye. But
Hi, Rye.
I think that's a very smart hypothesis on about what happened. Because I mean, if they ate her body, they might have ate the bones too. So you're not gonna find any remains.
I mean, I just
So
feel like we know the government at the time. We know she was a female. She was flying. They weren't liking that. They'll just up and make you disappear.
yeah, like Bridget says right here, I always felt like they purposely made her crash.
It,
Around that.
I'm so glad we're on the same page, Bridget, because my thing is she's a female. She was empowered, and she's like, "You're not about to tell me what to do. I can get up
Hmm.
off this ground just like everybody else on a plane." And they were like, "We don't like this. Don't
you
like
think
it.
you think you're gonna do something, woman?
You think you about to fly? Okay,
There
okay."
was also a story about her and whoever the first lady was at the time. Like they snuck away from like some meeting that they were having, and like they went
Mm.
like flying around the city. So you know, back in those days, men didn't like women to be doing things on their own. Don't how dare you be independent? I mean, a lot of niggas are like that
Mm-mm.
still, but
I
back then it was.
mean,
I mean,
get in the kitchen, woman. I ain't gonna
that
tell you
might be a
twice.
topic. Might be a topic for another day. So let's go ahead and move along. Let's go ahead and move on to the next mystery throughout history. So this one, it's very dark. It's very popular, very famous, very infamous mystery, and that was who was Jack the Ripper? You know,
Clearly,
Jack
somebody
the
with mother issues,
Yeah, somebody with some deep rooted mommy issues,
deep
deep
rooted
rooted.
mommy issues. Like,
So, so the people who don't know who Jack the Ripper was, it was a infamous serial killer in England who would only target women, mostly sex workers.
mm-hmm.
King of the as Marlena said, king of the incels. He probably was the do I want to say first incel?
I don't think he was
Probably
the
not
first, but he
not
was
the
the first to
first,
be
not the
mad
first.
about it and show it.
Seriously. So, and he was also he was like possibly a trained surgeon because he would like dissect these women and
Yes,
take out
and
their
leave the body
uterus and
parts.
yeah, all this stuff. So he, you know, pretty much got away with all of his murders. But there's also there was another serial killer that was in America named H. Holmes, and if you don't know who that is possibly one of the sickest people that's ever lived ever. Have you ever heard of H. Holmes?
Yeah, I'm kind of a weirdo when it comes to
Yeah.
like, I don't know if you saw my Facebook, but
uh
I used to do like a serial killer every day in the month of October because it's Halloween.
huh.
So,
So
yeah.
yeah, H. Holmes was a terrible person. Like he built a hotel just to like capture people, torture people, and all this stuff. And he admitted to being Jack the Ripper, but that hasn't been
Yeah, I don't think
confirmed.
that that was true. The
He
time
was a
periods were
psycho,
close, but
right?
it was off. Yeah. But didn't he get like caught because of he tried to use one of the bodies in an insurance scam or some stuff like that? Like he got caught for a
Yeah,
stupid reason.
yeah. He didn't get caught for the murders. He got caught on something like small thing.
It was something little, and then they was like, "Oh, bruh, like what's going on in this hotel?" Like American Horror Story did a whole season about like the murder hotel, and it was sort of
Yeah,
based off of him.
right, right. But yeah, he was a terrible person, and I hope he is burning in every religion's hell. All of them. Like, he was a horrible person. But yeah, Jack the Ripper. If they were different people, Jack the Ripper got away with his murders. He's also another person I hope, like I
Yeah,
said,
he's one of the
burning in
ones.
hell.
Never
Horrible.
got caught though. He did not get caught. He just
Uh,
stopped murdering. The murders just stopped. So whatever.
so yeah, Ryan here says Jack was either one a person who was sent after. God damn it. Let's do it that
Jack, a person who got sent to an asylum before the cops got him, or someone after organs. You know
like
what?
for the black
Maybe
market.
somebody after organs because
Yeah,
back in the day, we know
yeah, he was surgical with it.
he was
So
surgical with it. Okay.
yeah, he died. He
I
did.
love
He
how
died.
Marlena was like straight up. He be dead.
He died. He
He dead.
died. So we're gonna move on to another. This is a missing person,
Okay.
and this one it makes me mad because it's bullshit. That's John Benet Ramsey.
Yes.
And for those, I'll just tell the backstory. I'm just gonna tell the backstory of each one, if just so people will know. So John Benet Ramsey, she was a child beauty pageant. Like she won all these beauty pageants, which fuck those beauty pageants. Shit's a fucking gross. So, might be a story for another time, but yeah, those whatever. But her parents, she ended up being found dead or missing, or she ended up dead, and
Hmm.
her parents were the suspects, and her parents were not cooperating with the police. Which, in my opinion, I'm like, you're guilty.
Guilty.
You're
Suspects
fucking
one and
guilty.
two.
So yeah, that like Storm said here, they still have an open case after her disappearance.
I mean, she was 6 years old, and they just found her beaten and strangled. And what her mama was like extra hillbilly, like Mary Jane or Mary Joe or some mess, and she was just like, I don't know, happened to my daughter, my poor little, and but wouldn't let them search the house, wouldn't let them search the basement, went missing for a couple hours, didn't really explain that the girl was missing for days before, like,
Bridget's saying they have some recent developments on the case.
oh,
I haven't
okay.
heard nothing about
I
that
didn't hear
one.
anything new, so if you want to jump on Bridget and tell us about it,
With,
like
with with that one, I think the parents, if they didn't do it, they know who did it, and they're
I
pretend.
feel like they probably got a good insurance policy on her because she was making so much money for them in the like child ring of pageantry at the time.
Mhm.
They had somebody come do whatever. They got all this sympathy and all this money and all this, let's help find her. And then they cashed in on it. And then didn't they end up getting like divorced too or some mess? Like,
I think so. just all mess, just messy, messy.
Messy mess, and she was just this beautiful. Not it's so bad because the pageant world is still that terrible. Them
Oh
pageant moms
yeah, we
food for Cocoa Puffs.
hey, we could probably do a whole episode on that one. That was yeah. I think those you got these people um always talking about the trans not trans but the drag queens are trying to
Hmm?
do all this stuff and groom kids or whatever, which they're not. If you believe
They're
that, you're
not.
fucking ridiculous. But those beauty pageants aren't grooming kids. That's clearly grooming kids,
You are putting fake lashes, fake nails. You're putting veneers on baby teeth.
teaching them how to like be sexual.
You got a 3-year-old in a bikini with a flamethrower.
Like, what is this?
What are we doing here?
If 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 I were ruler of the world, which I am currently trying to do, that'd be one of the first things that I outlaw. No
Absolutely.
more no more beauty pageants whatsoever
It
for
shouldn't be a
kids, for
thing.
adults. Like we can go ahead and do away with them.
They could
Twerking
all.
for twerking for the judges, just horrible. Like
I
Marlena
will
said.
buy
Like,
you a crown and you can walk around the house in it in a gown, but we ain't gonna go through all that. It is thousands of dollars. Thousands. People spend thousands to be told their child is either beautiful or not.
that's messed up.
You
It's,
sexualizing children. It's so wrong. It's so
say
wrong.
you say you're not, and I call you a liar.
But the drag queens are the problem.
Right. So, all right. So we can move on to the next one, and this one is going to go in a different category because this is like a
Ooh.
this is. Oh wait. Hold on. Bridget done said something here. All right,
DNA evidence.
DNA evidence was gathered under John Benet Ramsey's fingernails and from her
Yeah.
underwear that did not match her parents, but other people close to the family, according to new un, undiscovered documents.
Oh no, they hired
So
somebody outside. They hired somebody outside.
that story is never going to sit right. Oh, there is a crazy conspiracy out there, and it's absolutely ridiculous that John Benet Ramsey is actually now Katy Perry. No.
I mean, she would have been what, 29 now? That happened like 25 years ago or something, right?
The ages add up,
The ages at,
but
I mean, even though Katy Perry's a little 40ish in the face, but they do age like milk. It could be a thing. I mean, I could see it. I could see it.
oh, what do you mean, Marlena? The brother? You think the brother did it?
You think the, mm, I mean, if your little sister is getting all the attention,
Yeah, he might have been jealous. He might have been
somebody
jealous.
got to go.
Yeah, that's plausible. Sorry, we talked about John Benet Ramsey. So this one I want to talk about moves away from Earth. Actually,
Okay.
this was the scientists were panning the universe for signals of extraterrestrial life, and then oh shit! Then one day in 1977, we got hit with the wow signal. There was a big radio signal that came from distant space in the Sagittarius constellation, and yeah, we've been looking for that ever since. Like it was like a big signal. We don't know what it was. There's some speculation like, oh, maybe like there was like a some type of explosion in space because space is always doing weird shit out there. But yeah, upon reading that one, I'm like, yeah, that's real creepy. That's a
Yeah,
very creepy one.
that's a little scary.
Yeah, there's a I don't know who said it. I don't. There's a saying that I seen. Either we're alone in the universe or we're not, and both are equally scary.
I don't think we are.
I lean towards we're not because if the universe is infinite and we have a finite amount of different ways that things can configure. Things are going to start
Mm-hmm.
repeating. So yeah, is there another me out there? Probably. Is there another you? Probably. Like that's my theory on it. We can't beat up.
I mean, look at Marilyn Manson and Michael Jackson. They ain't human, so.
I mean, we can even look at somebody like Usain Bolt and Michael Phelps.
Uh,
They ain't human.
People that are that as Simone Biles to be that
Yeah,
amazing, that talented. Come on.
uh, wouldn't be surprised. I like what you said, Marilyn Manson. It's Michael Jackson.
Come on now.
So I'm gonna go ahead and shoehorn wrestling into almost everything we talk about because there are two. Wait. Ryan saying something here about the wow signal. The wow signal seemed like terrestrial interference by accident. But still, I think that there's intelligent life out there, even if it's not always on Earth. Yeah,
It
I
ain't
dig that.
here.
I feel you. I feel you
It
on
is not on Earth. So
that one.
it's somewhere.
I mean, there's arguments to say that some animals that are here on Earth might be extraterrestrial. You know,
Listen, you
just
see some
say
of these animals.
like the coconut crab.
Thank you. That Popeye arm crab is not human. Okay.
If you guys want to see something crazy, just go ahead and Google coconut crab. That's a terrifying creature.
The
So
ostrich, its knees bend backwards. That is not normal.
platypus.
But thank you. Just saying.
Yeah, there are some whales out there that are really intelligent. Also, the humpback whale. That's
The humpback.
uh, like
Yes,
Rye says
anything
right here.
underwater. Yeah.
Dolphins and aliens. Or I'm sorry, dolphins and elephants. Yeah.
Mm.
So I want to talk about a couple unsolved mysteries in pro wrestling. And I'm going to talk about one that was back in the early '90s, and there was a guy named Dino Bravo who was involved with. He lived in Canada, and he was involved with organized crime. And yeah, they never caught his. He was smuggling illegal cigarettes into Canada,
What?
which I'm like cigarettes. You kind of
That's why I had to say what because of all the things.
all
Cigarettes?
the things. I mean, it was cigarettes. So they found him shot up in his house. They
Oh
never
my.
found out who killed him. Even Bret Hart was saying like in the locker room, he was like, "Yeah, I think my days on Earth are numbered." And that was like right before he got killed. So
Oh wow.
I think that there was probably some like bad business deal that went wrong. But I think it's crazy. Like WWE never talks about him or anything. Like they just
Like he didn't exist.
didn't exist. Now that segues into the next mystery in wrestling because they erased this man from history. You can't find him anywhere on the WWE website except for the belt history because they can't get rid of the belt history. And that is what the hell happened with Chris Benoit.
What happened with Chris?
That was like, you know, as somebody who was in the wrestling business, this happened 2007,
Mm-hmm.
June 2007. And I remember I was in the car driving with my friend, and I got a text from one of my wrestling friends. Chris Benoit passed away. I'm like, the fuck? What you mean? Chris Benoit passed
Didn't
away.
just pass
So
away.
yeah, so all this time we're just kind of like and this is before how the internet was now, how it's like, we go on Facebook and everything. So we're just sitting on wrestling websites refreshing, trying to see what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then it came to find out like, oh, his wife died and his son died and like somebody killed him. And we're like, this doesn't make any sense. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, I know we all know wrestling is predetermined, but Chris Benoit was a shooter, which means a legit fighter. Like he could fight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, somebody killed Chris Benoit. Somebody must have like came in his house and shot him up or something. Like this doesn't make any sense.
Nope. Nope.
So the last episode of wrestling that actually mentioned him was they had a Raw. They canceled the show and they did a tribute show. So as that tribute show was on, the truth about what happened came out.
Oh wow.
That he killed himself, killed his wife,
Killed his
killed
wife
his
and his
son.
son. Yep.
And the next day on the next show, Vince McMahon comes out. He was like, there's going to be no more mention of Mr. Benoit going forward. And they have not mentioned him not one time
They
since.
eradicated him from
Erased him from
WWE.
history.
Like he never exists. They're like double murder
If you
suicide slash.
like, if you try to go to one of the shows with, like, if you have a sign that says Chris Benoit, they taking a sign away from you.
Wow.
You can't make him on the video games. Well, now you probably can, but like they took all his moves away. Like you can't do none of that. Like it was really crazy moment in history. And the mystery is, to me, is like, okay, he calls out of work in Texas. They were doing a Texas show.
Okay.
Then he goes home in Georgia. He lived in Georgia, and then to kill his wife and kill his son and then kill himself, like that
That's
doesn't
so
make any.
crazy. That to me, it's insane that it was just like from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock.
Right. And he there was some weird text messages that he sent another wrestler, which, you know the autopsy showed that he had a lot of brain damage. Like
Yeah.
he had the brain of an 80-year-old Alzheimer's patient.
Holy cow!
So
I didn't know that.
yes, yeah. So like, if you go back and look at some of Benoit's matches, he was a very intense wrestler. He pulled no punches. He went hard every time. So, there's all kind of speculation. Oh, it was that? It was roid rage.
I
I just
remember
want to
hearing
know.
the roid rage thing. That I remember hearing that.
I thought that was bullshit.
I mean,
Rage doesn't last.
I know a lot of people who do steroids, and I can believe that one because I will watch these people throughout the day go from being normal, being friendly, being social, to then being antisocial, not talking to anyone, to then being angry, to then being sad, to then being depressed, to then wanting to kill themselves, to then the next day they're looking at you like, "What are you talking about? I'm fine." I've seen it.
Yeah.
I know plenty of people who do steroids. So I mean, imagine how many years of steroids you know what I'm saying? But to
He was
strangle
on
a
it for a minute.
7 year old kid, though, that's a lot. To strangle your 7 year old child, that's
Now,
more than steroids.
the creepy part about his is that before it came out on the news, his Wikipedia page was changed saying that he died.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and like, the person that edited his Wikipedia page, of course, you're gonna get, you're suspicious. You're a suspect now. What are you talking about?
What you know?
Yeah, so basically he was like, "Oh, I heard that he got killed in a form, so I just edited the page." I'm like, something ain't sitting right with this one.
Nope. Nope.
All right, so that's Chris Benoit. That's that one. That one sticks with me because that was somebody who I wanted to emulate as a wrestler. So
Yeah,
that was
that's
crazy.
tragic. That was tragic.
So we're gonna go to another tragic, famous murder, and this is probably one of the most infamous ones in our history.
Okay.
Because if you were a kid, this shit was interrupting you watching Animaniacs, Tiny Toons, all this shit with the trial. And I think you already know what it is. You know what it is, huh?
I'm so mad because I remember watching my Animaniacs. Oh
Here
my!
they go with the damn O.J. Simpson trial.
If the glove don't fit, you must acquit.
I don't think he did it.
I don't
I
think
I
OJ did it. Listen,
I
Juice,
and he
Juice.
knows who did it.
He does. He does. He took that rap. He took that heat. He took that loss. And it's like now you see him out chilling in the clubs with these Beckys like it didn't happen. I'd be like, sis, you don't know who that is? That's Juice. Don't go home
you
with
know,
him.
it didn't look good for him because he did
No,
have a history of domestic violence. But I don't think he did it
no.
because I going back to the conspiracy theories. There's not many conspiracy theories that I believe, but like Bridget just said right here, I believe his son did it.
Listen.
because his first of all, his son had IED, IED, intermittent explosive disorder.
Mm-hmm.
So you're flying off the handle. You get mad, you just lose it.
There was motive for that son. You are
Yeah. There was also his son was a chef, I believe. So there you go. You got
yes.
the sharp knives.
Sharp knives. Yep.
OJ didn't fit the glove because it wasn't his glove. It was his
It don't
kid's.
fit. No.
So they're never like Bridget says here, the LAPD never didn't pursue it. They're not going to. OJ got off. OJ's not going to snitch on his son. OJ's not going to tell him his son did it.
Listen, I remember sitting in my living room with all my black family, waiting for that verdict to come back, and we was just like, please don't let Juice be guilty. Even though we was looking at each other like he may have done it, but don't let Juice be guilty. But no, I don't think he did it either. I don't think so.
I mean Ryan. Okay, I think Ryan is disagreeing here, which is fine.
Okay,
Um,
Ryan says it was his son. If you look at him, I don't think he can take out two people, one who knows MMA, but his son had issues. And listen, anybody mentally disturbed people are stronger than you think. They can move cars sometimes, and then another time can't even pick a book up. Like it's when you snap like that, the strength. I've dealt with my cousin who's autistic when he was younger, and we would be 10 years old. When I tell you, my cousin at 10 years old could literally rock my aunt's SUV. There were times we literally thought he would push it over when he would get angry. So I think the son did it. I'm just saying.
I'm buying into that one. I'm saying the son did it as well.
Oh no,
So this
Ryan
one,
did say the son did do it. Oh yeah, he did that.
he did
Juice took
that.
that rap. Juice took that rap. He was
So
like, I got you, son.
Marlena, are you still in here? If you're still in here, I'll get to the one that you wanted to do. But if not, I'm gonna go to the next one.
Raise your hand, Marlena. I was at school. A few classes, including mine, got the TV that day. The entire school erupted in cheer. Listen, we was sitting in the living room praying with each other. We was like, "Come on, black people." Listen, we couldn't take
but
that
then
rap
on the
that day. We could not
but then
take
on
that
the
rap.
then on the flip side, when I learned about the type of person that OJ was, I'm like, man, fuck him.
He is a
Fuck
horrible
you.
person. He has not done anything for anybody or anyone in the black community, but we still
Nah,
didn't want to take that rap that day.
he uses the N word with the hard R to refer to
Mm-hmm.
us. So I'm like, man, you can go ahead and go to jail with the rest of
He is
them. Go.
horrible.
He's kind of like Earl Hershiser, whatever his name is. Hershiser. I can't think of his name, but yeah, that guy.
Whoever he is.
So not seeing Marlena come up, so we're not going to talk about that one until she comes back. Let's go ahead and do another one
Okay.
here. Was Atlantis a real place?
I believe it. I do think so. I think so.
I think that this was a kingdom that was close to the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I just saw what Bridget said. My aunt went to USC with OJ. She hated him, but she also said he didn't do it. So that, I mean, that's
We
saying
may
a
not have
lot.
liked him as a person, but we knew he
Hey,
didn't do it.
I'm always about the facts. If I don't like you, that has nothing to do with the facts.
Yep.
Facts are facts. So yeah, Atlantis was Atlantis a real place? And what happened to Atlantis if it was a real place? I think if it was a real place, it was close to the ocean and with continental drift or shifts in the in the plates. Maybe it just sunk to the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, that I always thought that was an interesting one too. Like I think a lot of us would like it to be real.
We do. I mean, listen, first of all, I'm so about Greek mythology and like gods and all that. I love it. I'm obsessed with it.
Mm.
So this entire city, like when you see it, it's really a city underwater, whether it's like Florida and it's just sinking or whatever it is. I want to believe it.
We want to believe.
We want to
You know, there
believe.
was there was also lost my train of thought. But
Yes,
Bridget
you're
says
right,
here,
Ryan. Ryan is right. They want to say it was in Spain because now the new findings are that the original Atlantis was between Morocco and Spain. So, of
so like
course,
in the,
they would be actually Africans and like black and darker skin. They weren't these yellow gods
they don't want
that
that.
they're
They
showing.
don't
It
want that to
was
be.
us. It was
How
us.
dare you?
How dare you?
You're you're always trying to turn something black.
Listen, Medusa didn't have snakes. She had dreadlocks, okay? And she was just an angry woman who was
They
raped,
had
decided
she
that she
had
would
all
take
right.
matters into her own hands.
She
I've
had all
always
right
said
to be. She had all right to be mad.
she had every right to be mad. And I feel like they made, oh, snakes. Oh, she's scary. No, no, no. She had dreadlocks and she did what she had to do.
Hey, Medusa was a hero.
She was a
She was a
hero.
hero.
She's one of my favorites, and I'm getting her tattooed on me next month.
That kind of goes back to not back to, but to the next one, which I think they've already kind of talked about this, and it's always you know the subject of a lot of controversy, and that's the pyramids. How did they build them? Why did they build them? You know,
Hmm.
you know, how did they build these giant things without the wheel hadn't been invented yet,
Right.
so that was like that's a big deal. That's a mystery in history, but I think I'm pretty sure one of the comments is probably gonna chime in on this one, like oh that's been the big mystery. Oh, how did they get this together? And it's always like they got the famous guy, the memes, aliens.
Hmm. Listen, I understand black people are strong, but there ain't no way that many slaves.
I mean,
We ain't
a
had no
lot of
cranes back then. We ain't had like there was no jimmies back then. Them pyramids, especially the ones of like the actual, you know, like pharaohs and stuff with the heads and who did that? There's no way. There's no way. Aliens with an M. Aliens did it.
aliens with
Aliens with an M. They did it.
so I'm gonna go ahead and mention that even though Marlena's not here in a little bit, but let's see what Ryan says. By floating massive blocks on the
On the
Nile why it floods. Yeah, it was all based on the stars too, and they were really exact with that too,
right.
which is
They
very
everything was
impressive.
astrological back then. So
Very impressive. To a lot of the things the Egyptians did back in the day, I thought was really. I still think it's impressive not to have the knowledge of modern
mhm.
day science, or maybe they did, and that stuff got lost through history also because a lot
Exactly.
of things get lost through history. I mean, Stonehenge is another one where it's like, what the fuck is this? Why is this here? Like, I don't care about these big rocks. I feel like some of the African and Latino culture should go steal those rocks. Go steal the rocks until the British Museum gives you guys all your stuff back.
Killmonger them.
Yeah, if you go to the British Museum, there's nothing British in the British Museum
No.
besides people.
I'm so done with you.
That's the only thing that's there. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and mention the one Marlena wanted to talk about, even though she's not here anymore, and that's
Marlena.
where is Jimmy Hoffa?
Where
Oh,
there.
there she is. So yeah,
Look how she
Marlena.
popped up for this. She was like, "Oh, I'm here."
I don't know much about Jimmy Hoffa. I believe he was trying to unionize something. I believe, right, Marlena? If you want to chime in on that, if you even want to come on camera, we can go ahead and put that in the link as well. Let me see here. Teamsters. So yeah, I'll put that link there if anybody wants to chime in on one that you want to talk about. I forgot to put that up. before. So yeah, you just click the link. Make sure you have your volume down on your phone if you're going to be using your speaker on your phone, so we don't get feedback. What? Yeah, there we go. But yeah, Jimmy Hoffa, she said that the Teamsters. So what about the Teamsters? Wait, are we good? Are we still there?
Oh, are you talking to me?
Yeah, like I thought you were
I thought
frozen.
you was talking to Marlena. I was just sitting back and listening. So like so he was pretty much taken out by the mafia.
That's the theory.
That's the theory, that he was taken out by the mafia. He just magically disappeared. Um they were trying to say that like he had embezzled their money, and it's something about like organized labor with the Teamsters, and the mafia wasn't enjoying it because it was taken away from their pockets, and then he just
Mm.
went missing. And they never found his body though. Like he's another just nobody.
I think there was like a theory that he was like buried under Wrigley Field or like one of those
One of the
baseball
baseball
fields.
fields. Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
which which is very dark if you think about that
Okay, yeah, I
one.
had to
Jesus
pull this.
Christ.
So Jimmy Hoffa was the president of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. He was guilty of mail and wire fraud and conspiracy today in the use of his union's pension funds. A jury of 4 women and 8 men found him guilty on 4 of 21 counts in the government called a $25 million scheme. So I want to say he started running his mouth about the mafia people, and he was like, please take some of these counts away. And the mob was like, oh, okay, so you gonna talk? We got you. Here's some
Mm,
cement shoes. You know you don't talk on the mafia.
sleep fishes. Ooh, man, that stuff back in the day was just so grimy to me. Like,
I
jeez,
mean, because yeah, isn't the movie The Irishman, isn't that like based off of the Jimmy Hoffa story?
I don't know. I never
I've seen the movie.
heard that.
It's absolutely amazing, and I'm pretty sure that movie is based off of Jimmy Hoffa.
So I got some other ones here on the list, and this one happened. I think this one was the most recent one, and that
Okay.
was Malaysia Flight 370.
Wasn't I talking to you about this?
Just fucking this. How does a plane just disappear like this?
My thing is how you just stopped talking about it like it didn't go missing.
Like it's gone now. Goodbye. Next, next up on the news, Justin Bieber's favorite flavor of candy.
Justin Bieber has movement on both sides of his face again. Like, bro, there's a flight missing.
like a whole group of people. Like they did find some debris of the plane, but they haven't found any remains of the people. There was no black box, nothing. It
There
was
was no
just
black box. Like, no black box. That's the one thing that's supposed to be able to survive the crash. So we know what
yeah.
happened. That was never found. They supposedly found like the wing and a couple seats and some windows, but no people, not one body. Not
Why don't they why don't they make the plane out of the same material as the black box?
they don't have enough
don't
vibranium.
mind don't mind me. I'm being stupid. You think the plane was shot down? Rice says the plane was shot
Oh,
down by accident and they swept it on the. You know what? That makes sense. Oh shit,
makes sense.
man, Marlena, are you still there? Remember when we were flying from Nigeria and we seen all those fucking shits going off in the sky?
What?
And yeah, man, it looked like they were like shooting missiles or something.
Not today.
And we asked the flight attendant like, what's that? They're like, probably lightning. We're like, nah, motherfucker, that wasn't no lightning. All right, so we got a guest coming on. Who we got here? We got Bridget. Bring Bridget
Bridget.
on.
Hi. Hopefully, I'm
Hi.
not moving around this time.
No,
Nah,
you're
you're
Whatever's
good.
happening.
perfect today. You're nice and clear.
Okay,
And then we lost her
Oh,
that day.
yeah.
you're kind of choppy.
Wi-Fi. I can never win. Can you
Her
hear me?
Uh,
internet won't let her be great.
It will not. I swear.
I'm sorry.
Can you?
We can't see what's happening. All right. Sorry, Bridget.
Sorry, Bridget. But yeah, so this plane just gone. Like, no black box, no people, no nothing.
No.
And then they literally, like you said, they just like moved on like it didn't happen. They was
You
like,
know,
hey, so Spirit Airlines has a fare for $25. They're like, Spirit, the pilot
next
didn't show up
story.
today.
Terrible. So let's see here. Probably do a couple more. Oh, you know what? Probably one that was big for a lot of us growing up. Us black millennials, especially. Who killed Tupac and Biggie?
Bruh.
I think they caught Tupac's killer, which caught right,
Mm-hmm.
but they still never could. They never caught Biggie's killer.
Nope.
There's a part of me that feels like Puffy has something to do with Big getting killed.
Absolutely. No. One stop. Look at where Diddy is today. Diddy is where he is today because of the death of Biggie. Diddy has no
Pu-
actual talent. Okay. He seeks people out. He knows how to extort their money and absorb all of their energy. And then he lets them ghost off. Like what happened to Danity Kane? What happened to that other male group that he had? What happened to 112? Like Diddy knows how to do that. But Biggie was
he,
somebody, and I guarantee you, Biggie found out something, and Diddy was like, "Oh, he got to go."
Biggie is the succubus of people's careers. Because, like you said, you named a couple. Craig Mack was another one. Shine was another one.
Sh- Shine went to jail for Diddy for how many years, and then he came back out, and then he was like
Puffy was like,
ambassador or something.
"Thanks, bro." Yeah,
But he has all this money because he went to jail for Diddy. So Shine's like, I don't ever have to make another song a day in my life. Diddy got me set. So like, Diddy is a black hole.
yeah. There's a conspiracy going around that I just heard that Puffy had something to do with Jamie Foxx being in the hospital right now because Jamie Foxx outed Puffy as being bisexual or gay or something.
But we knew that. I mean,
Yeah.
Diddy been, Diddy has been out there in them streets as much as OBJ and Will Smith. So we knew
Right.
all of that a long time ago.
Vibe magazine started that stupid West Coast versus East Coast beef BS. I do think Pac got hit by the cops. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. There's also the whole like, oh, is Tupac still alive? Because he was putting out music far after he died.
Listen, Tupac, he chilling on an island somewhere with some dreadlocks, okay? Because
I think it's funny because I think if Tupac was alive now, he wouldn't have been even doing music. He would have been acting.
absolutely, just like everybody else.
Tupac would have played in Black Panther, and he would have been in Baku or something. I don't
I can totally see
know.
that now.
He would have. No, you know what? You know who Tupac would have been? Tupac would have been War Machine.
Yeah, I can see that.
After what's his face? What's the light skinned nigga? After Terrence Howard
I
quit
just
or
saw
whatever.
that you called him.
I couldn't think of his name, but like as soon as he backed out, I think they would have brought Tupac in to be War Machine.
Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? He would have done a
Mate.
better job than Terrence Howard, honestly, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely. Maine. I don't think Terrence Howard was that great. Don Cheadle should have played that part in the first fucking
Absolutely. I love Don Cheadle. He don't get enough
place.
of his props. Like,
Don Cheadle, if Don Cheadle wasn't already War Machine, that would have been easy casting to have him play King the Conqueror. Since
oh my god, because now
they're
we
gonna
gotta
recast
replace
him.
him anyway. Rest in peace to
Right.
his career. You know what? But now that I've seen King the Conqueror, I can't unsee him. That's like for me, that's like Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
I get it.
He played the part so well, I think.
He disappeared into that part.
And now he's gonna disappear into the world because he ain't got no
He's
money
not
and he don't exist. So
stupid.
goodbye,
So there's
Jonathan.
upon looking up some of the mysteries, there's
I
one that
still think that Suge Knight is responsible for Tupac. The same way Diddy is Biggie, it's Suge Knight is Tupac. Suge Knight set him up.
yeah, Suge Knight, because he wanted to leave Death Row also.
Yeah, exactly. He wanted to
So
leave, remember? So,
yeah,
oh, you know what's
so
another mystery? The Black Dahlia.
like dog, I am unfamiliar with that
So
one.
that
I
was the
don't.
one where like the body was cut in half and then like drained of all the blood. And then like I think like the body parts were people thought they were mannequins, but it was like this woman who was cut up. They think it was like
Wow.
a surgeon or something. Like she was cut up and her body was left in LA. This was in LA. Like you're in LA. How do you not know about the Black Dahlia?
I'm sorry, I don't be knowing
There
stuff.
when I tell you there was no blood at anywhere near the scene. They found no blood. This woman was drained of her bodily fluids.
Jesus Christ.
I cannot believe like you're in LA.
There's a lot of stuff I don't be knowing. I grew up in the neighborhood where Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, where he,
Oh.
he was doing his thing around here.
Mm-hmm.
He was that horrible, or another horrible person throughout history.
Oh.
You know, he it was kind of cool how he got caught because he
How
was
did he
like
get caught?
so like he was on the bus or just got off the bus and somebody recognized him, and then everybody recognized him, and the whole neighborhood pounced on him, and yeah, and then they called the police. Yeah.
Wait, I love how he was like, and then they called the police.
Well, yeah, you got to do something. But the worst part about him is that he died of like natural causes or cancer or some shit, and he was on death row for years. I'm like,
Mm.
why they be lagging with death row? Like, get it going. We know this guy did it. He admitted to doing it. Go ahead and
Yeah, I
take him
never
out.
understood that. Why do you have to sit on death row for years before they like just kill you?
Like, if you guys have that much doubt, then get rid of the death penalty.
Mm.
Because I mean, in the medieval times, or back in the day, it was like guilty, off with his head, all in the same motion.
Exactly. Put him on the chopping block. Everybody's in the streets cheering, and then we go have lunch.
Oh, oh, there it is. Ryan said it right there. Each inmate makes thousands. That's what it is. Fuck
It's true.
the fuck the what's it called? The prison industrial complex.
Mm.
Made slavery legal in America. Kept slavery legal in America. So all right, I got another one that I want to talk about. This one's a lesser known one, but when I was looking up unsolved mysteries, I thought it was pretty interesting. So these people robbed a museum, the Garner Museum, and they got away with like a lot of art. They never caught the people, and it's kind of funny. I thought it was funny how they did it. They posed as cops, tied up all the people, stole all the artwork, and bounced.
This is amazing.
Yeah, they've never recovered any of the art. They don't know the people that did it. And in the museum, they still have the frames up where the art should be.
Really?
Like, oh, y'all got separation anxiety. Like, why y'all?
Yep.
Why
We
y'all
gonna
still do
memorialize this.
it?
They got
Like,
one on.
that's too funny, man. Like, come on, y'all. Also, I had the Zodiac killer on here, which we all know is Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz.
Everybody
Yeah.
knows it's Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz needs to go to jail. Did you have any other ones that you wanted to talk about, Jamie? Any
No,
more?
you brought up the main ones because my thing was just John Bonet and Flight 370.
Or
Um,
if any of our viewers out there, if you guys have any other ones that you want to bring up that we can talk about, we can talk about that as well. I feel like I'm gonna stop this podcast, and the second I stop, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah,
we're gonna be like, oh,
that one.
Escape from Alcatraz. The three men that got off of the island, like in the middle of the ocean, freaking Alcatraz, which was out there, and like um they tried to escape a bunch of times, and then finally, like, it was one of the top high maximum security prisons, and these dudes bounced, like, just escape.
Hey, I think it should be legal to escape from prison.
I feel if you get out,
If you get out, hey, you get out. Oh, that's a good one. That's there we go. That was one that probably popped to my mind.
yes,
Did Hitler? What happened with Hitler?
yes, he did. Absolutely.
I can see that. Like, I can see dude having a contingency plan.
Absolutely. You do all this, you know you about to be in trouble. You know the military is coming. You know the U.S. is on your ass now, and you ain't got no backup plan. Come on, come
There
on.
was also the history of Roanoke, uh, or mystery of Roanoke. The first settlement in America just vanished with no trace.
Like it never happened. You know what? Can
I
we
was
talk about, like? Can we talk about it? Are we allowed to? Are we gonna get shut down? Like, you're gonna log off, and then the government's gonna be like, "All right, they've been talking about too much stuff that shouldn't be talked about. We shutting this whole program down."
wait, talk about what?
Everything we talked about tonight, the government's gonna be like, "Nope, don't like it. There's too much truth. Shut them down."
I'll just say this is for entertainment purposes only. Oh, you know what? Ah, that makes sense. The Native Americans absorbed that community. Okay, so like you think that they went out to, like, they got absorbed by the Native Americans and got Americanized. They were the first Americanized people.
That's how. Is that how you word it? They got Americanized.
I mean, technically, I guess that's what it would be. I mean, they were the real Americans.
They. I mean, we're not Americans. We're whatever. We're land stealers. Well,
Oh,
technically, we the ancestors of
no,
slaves.
not us.
We ancestors of slaves. We didn't want to be here in the first place. But
Nah,
them other folks, they land stealers.
like hey, Rye said here, they wouldn't have survived without Native Americans and indigenous people. They would not.
They would not. Instead, they brought plagues and colds and disease and famine and killed them. But we're not going to
There.
talk about that.
All right, we're reaching our time here. I try to keep it under an hour, so I don't want to be one of those podcasts where we go on and on. So, if you want to follow Jamie, she has her socials there. Miss Johnson 86, and I am Alonzo Jules everywhere. Also follow the podcast. Tell your friends. Hey, late night, all day. Let people know. Also, if you need any logos or anything, go ahead and hit Rye Armstrong as well. He's there in the comments.
He created
He
this
opened
amazing.
commissions.
This. He created this. It's so
Yeah,
cool.
I know it's kind of small, but if you go to any of our pages, you'll see it really really good. So for Jamie Johnson, this is AJ Graham. We're gonna say good morning
Good night.
and
Goodbye.
goodbye.
We're so cheesy.